All right, today we are on another adventure and we are looking at where the Ark of the Covenant was. Not is.
Wait.
I'm here with Danny the Digger from DannyTheDigger.com, one of the best, most informed tour guides in all of Israel. You have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And where are you taking me today?
So Tel Beit Shemesh is the name of the biblical site of the house of the sun, whose name implies that maybe Canaanites worshiped the sun god here.
Okay.
And maybe this was the very hilltop where, I don't know, sacrifices were made to please the sun.
Wow.
But we don't have a Canaanite Bible. What we do have is a Jewish Bible, which tells us of the events happening here in the days of the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
And Tel Beit Shemesh actually plays a major role in the stations of the Ark.
Okay.
The Ark was given to Moses to keep the Ten Commandments. They carried it across the desert.
Yeah.
And it made the Jordan River split when they entered the Promised Land. It made the walls of Jericho come tumbling down. And then it was kept in Shiloh.
Okay.
Okay?
And how far is Shiloh from here?
Shiloh is, I don't know, 50 kilometers north of us.
Okay.
But then in a critical battle against the Philistines, the Israelites lost.
Right.
Eli suggests, you know what, take the ark with you. This time we will definitely win. But they don't.
Right.
And the ark falls to their hands.
And is this a story where the messenger comes back and he tells him and he falls backward in his chair and he dies?
Yes.
Okay.
Eli dies from hearing of this. His two sons also die, and the ark is in the hands of the Philistines, where the sun is setting down, the arch enemies of the Israelites.
Okay.
And they rejoice and are all excited,
Yeah.
but boy do they regret that, as it causes a plague.
Yep.
It causes a plague in Ashdod, it causes a plague in Gath, and the people of Ekron reach the conclusion, we better not bring it into the city, so they keep it outside the city for 7 months till they create a carriage with all respect to send it back to the Israelites.
Wow.
Now, Ekron was identified in the 1990s right under the sun, right behind that ridge.
Okay.
It's in Tel Mukanna, near Kibbutz Revadim. And the closest Israelite city to the Ekronites is here,
Beit Shemesh.
Tel Beit Shemesh, biblical Beit Shemesh.
Okay.
So the Bible tells us in such a vivid way of the Israelites harvesting their fields. It's a bit too early now, but in a few weeks it will be harvest time. And all of a sudden, what is this? The carriage carrying the ark. Imagine how excited they were to see the ark on a carriage being sent to them. And the Philistines were walking behind it up to the border, made sure it continues in the right direction, and went back. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
Now, what happens next? It tells us that the Israelites all rejoice. They brought the ark to the plot of Joshua of Beit Shemesh,
Okay.
some personal plot of a member of the community here. They put the ark on a big stone. Remember every word now.
Okay. On a big stone.
Big stone, and then they sacrificed the cows who carried the carriage.
Right.
Okay?
So it was bittersweet. The Philistines, they conquered. They took the most holy relic, and then it was a catastrophe. They had tumors, cancer, or all kinds of bad luck. Or what would you describe?
The Bible uses a term which could be interpreted as hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids, really?
Yes, of all. Whatever it was very unpleasant.
Yes.
And the Philistines decided, with all respect, to just get rid of it and send it back to the Israelites.
Okay.
And Beit Shemesh, being the closest city to Philistine land,
Yeah.
ended up being the city that received it. The ark was kept here. The cows were sacrificed. Everyone was happy, except that then it caused a plague to the Israelites.
And why did it cause a plague for the Israelites?
That I don't know, but it caused. The text implies that the reason is that the priests were not maintaining it.
Oh, okay, so
And
they weren't doing their
It
proper...
doesn't say it in specifically, but it implies it.
Okay.
Because then the Israelites have a priest taking it from here to Kiryat Yearim. It's a hill
Kiryat
above
Yearim.
village of Abu Ghosh, just west of Jerusalem.
Which Abu Ghosh is an Arab village today, right?
Today, but
Yeah.
the hilltop above it contains remains from the Iron Age, and the Bible tells us that now that it's in the hands of the priests in Kiryat Yarim, for 20 years it doesn't do any damage. It's not killing anyone.
Right.
So what the text is trying to say is that it should be in the hands of the Israelites and only operated by the priests.
Okay.
Now, Chris,
Yes.
what are the chances that archaeology will actually detect a flat slab of stone in the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant in a level that fits the 11th century, the time that this story took place?
So I've been coming to Israel for a long time. I've been to many archaeological sites. There's lots of stones.
Yes.
I would say the chances are very, very slim that they would find something that exact.
Okay, so now watch.
Okay.
First of all, this is the northern edge of the site.
Yeah.
The site has been investigated from the early 20th century.
Okay.
In the 1990s, an expedition from Tel Aviv University uncovered here a very interesting site by itself. I don't know if the camera can see this.
Okay, with those metal bars down there?
Yes, that's
Okay.
actually a giant underground water reservoir.
Like a cistern.
Yes, that
Okay.
was made to
Yeah.
prepare the city for the Assyrian attack. Great stories of a later times.
Right.
But here, they continued the excavations, and if the surface is modern times to Middle Ages, then you go just half a meter beneath it and the Iron Age appears.
Okay.
Now follow me carefully,
Okay.
because it's not really set up for visits.
Whoop.
Whoop.
I'm
Just-
okay.
I
I'm
said
okay.
carefully.
Yeah, yeah. Here, I'm just taking this filter off.
And here, the excavations reached the specific layer of the 11th century in the Iron Age,
Okay.
which proved to contain 1, 2, and 3 round flat stones.
All right. I'm getting a shot of these stones now. So what is the significance of these 3 flat
So
round
one of them
stones?
already broke,
Okay.
but these 2 are still in position, and look how they're round, flat,
Yes.
and they have these grooves to drain liquids.
Okay.
It's not the base of a pillar or anything. You see?
Yeah.
It's
So-
definitely something to drain liquids out of it.
So I've seen other stones with channels for draining liquids, like in an olive press.
Exactly.
Okay.
But where are the other components of the olive press? You don't have it. You only have those flat stones.
Okay.
So when this was found about 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I visited the site and told the archaeologists, hey Tzvi, maybe this is where the cows were sacrificed when the ark was brought back. And he had a big laugh and said, Danny, you can tell that to your tourists, but for me as a scientific person, I don't know if this is scientific enough. So you can be sure I would used to bring people and tell them that I personally think that you cannot rule out the possibility this is part of the story of the ark being returned and the cows being slaughtered right here.
Right in this very location.
Okay? But then,
Okay.
2019,
Right.
the last season before COVID, when excavations was carried out, Tzvi decides to excavate in this direction. Now, this is a bulk. This is just a natural field that still needs to be removed. Or when archaeologists dig, they dig in squares and they leave these bulks to give you the horizontal dimension.
Okay. And we're seeing layers of civilization and dirt and all this kind of stuff here, right?
Especially here, it looks like a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
You have a lot of layers of dark ash, and you even have animal bones here.
So that's an animal bone. Then.
Yes, here and here.
Yeah, and the dark ash that would indicate like fire.
Either a
like from-
fire, or he actually proposed that this might relate to a den where animals were kept. But the lower
okay.
ones look
Yeah.
more like they're relating to a fire.
Oh, okay, down there.
But the punchline, Chris,
Okay. Yeah.
is what's on the other side of that book.
Is it the ark? We're gonna
Follow
find
me.
the ark.
No, not the ark. I'm not saying the ark
I know.
is here to this day.
You don't say. I'll say it, and I'll get everybody excited. And
But I will say that what I'm going to show you might be the place where the ark was kept.
okay.
Watch. Here on this side we have a big flat stone in the back of the sacrificial area. It is flat, it is rectangular, and in fact it is in the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible tells us the Ark was 1.5 cubits by 2.5 cubits. This is a cubit.
Okay.
So 1.5 cubits by 1, 2, just a bit more than 2.5 cubits.
All right, can you do that again? I want to see that again. So you're saying
Again.
a cubit is show us a cubit?
This is a hand cubit. It was hand breadth. This was used as a measurement
Okay.
for heights. Okay?
Right. Okay.
So
A cubit and a half.
cubit and a half
Right. Yeah.
by 1, 2, and a bit less than 3 cubits. So it's slightly bigger than the size of the ark, which makes sense. You
You'd
want to
have
make
to-
sure it's stable.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't.
Are you
don't,
with me?
Okay. Hold on.
This is a flat
So
stone of the size of the ark, found in Beit Shemesh in a layer that correlates the time the ark was placed here. And the Bible tells us it was kept on a big stone.
and it says Beit Shemesh. Like it gives
In
us
Beit
the
Shemesh.
location. So we're not
Yeah.
making stuff up here. This is the real
No
deal.
one doubts that this is biblical Beit Shemesh, but this is brand new, sensational discovery that you could argue is where the ark was actually placed. This is the location where it was housed until it caused a plague and then it was taken away.
So we're standing in what essentially would have been for a short time the Holy of Holies.
Yes. Each time I come, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't even touch it. You know what? And when I touch it, it's
Yeah.
with respect.
Yes.
To think the Ark of the Covenant was placed here.
From here it goes to Kiryat Yearim.
Yes.
And they were blessed, right? Like there's like good things were happening for them when it was
It
there?
doesn't say. It
No?
doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything bad, which is most
Nothing.
important.
Okay. So better nothing bad
Yeah.
is nothing bad is always something good.
I guess. And archaeological work done also in recent years in Kiryat Yearim has also yielded very interesting finds connected to early Iron Age, connected to a possible shrine that stood there as well.
Wow. Can we see it?
Yes, that's up in Kiryat Yearim.
Okay.
There's a monastery built on the hilltop, but the perimeter can still be reviewed, and that's what the archaeological work was doing there a few years ago.
Can we go right now? Do you have time?
Sure, let's
All right.
go.
Okay, cool. Let's go.